Yo, JD here, Limitless, and we are back on F1 2021 as always. Continuing our Hotlap and setup series, we arrive at the penultimate track on the tracks available on this game, Abu Dhabi, which again, I can't remember the last time I've ever completed a setup series, so I really hope you have found this useful. It's been really fun for me, mainly because I've just really enjoyed this game. So as usual, go gloss over this first lap, and then we're going to break it down the second time round. I will be doing Portimao, Imola, when the tracks are added in. I will be doing those as well, but I also will be doing a mastering series where I pretty much go through every single track, do the strategies for the league race, the wet laps, the full race setup, everything such as that I will be doing as well. But I try to go in as much detail as I can by breaking down the lap rather than just showing a fast lap. Try and give you the thought process behind it. And Abu Dhabi, it's a track I've had some mixed memories on, especially in league racing. But it's a track that I feel I've got good potential one-lap speed. It's just very hard to hook up for me. But in races, I normally do quite well around the circuit. So I noticed in this game that the curbs are absolutely astronomical around here. So my number one tip is to, like, going through that corner there, making sure you use the first part of the curb, so the higher point of the curb, the smoother part of it. Don't mount it too much. There's only really a couple of corners you want to be doing that. So like going through to here, make sure you kiss this one. So just the first part. This one you can mount, and this one as well, and there's another one in the last sector, but you really want to be using the first part of the curb. So that's really the message I want to hammer home to people when they're driving around this track. Like that one again, you don't want to use like the second part. The one that's closest to the track, that upper portion, is the part you want to pretty much just graze. This is another one where you do mount. You can either avoid it or completely do that. It doesn't really change the lap time that much. You can see it's a 32.5, which I was pretty happy with, considering this is one of my probably weaker tracks of the lap. Got up to speed quite quickly, so yeah, I was pretty happy with that, to be honest. But now we're going to break it down. Let's see how we attack this track. So coming into it, making sure you use all the curb on the entry, and just before that black box, that's where you want to be doing all of your braking, then start to turn. Make sure you go on the throttle a little bit late, not too early, because the back end can step out, flat out through this left and right. Make sure you don't hit it, just as close as you can. Use all the curb on the entry for this one, and pretty much, yeah, very close to 50 meters is where you want to be going through. Making sure you kiss this one. So that's an example, that first part of the curb, and you do exactly the same for this point. So not the lower portion, that's the bumpier part. Making sure you use the upper points. Aim for the white line here, or where the track joins. That's your turning in point and where you want to be going onto the full lock. Don't really need to hit the apex that much here, but making sure you get good rotation, using the throttle to get that rotation. Don't drifting out too much wide. And we got a very good exit coming off this corner. You can see well over a tenth up, making sure you get on the DRS. As you arrive into this pretty long straight, we'll be braking very deep into this corner. So the penultimate, the 100-meter board there, that's where you want to be then going on the full brakes. Don't use the curb on the entry, but again, this inside curb, you can kiss that. We just missed it slightly, but it didn't really cost us too much time. And going through to here, you can see that point of the curb again. You don't want to mount that. You could do it last game, but this game, I don't feel it's really possible to do that. Making sure you hit the DRS line, stay nice and tight to minimize the distance of the track. A very difficult braking zone. 100-meter board again, that's where you want to be looking. As you visualize your car being aligned with that, that's when you want to go onto the full brakes. Coming into here now, using that first point, the higher point of the curb once again. But this is the one that you mount, because you can gain a lot of lap time. So you want to try and keep the car as straight as you possibly can. Don't use much of the throttle, because it will unsettle the car. And you can see again, mounting it, but not really using any of the throttle, because the wheel spin will make it very unstable. And as the green part of the track finishes, that is your turning in point. We didn't get this particularly well, that crisp. We could have done it better then this here, and you can see the exit with a little bit of oversteer. You can run on that curb, and that's really what we should have done. Into a very iconic corner here, but it's a very difficult braking zone. But really, as I drift out to the left-hand side, that's where I start applying the full brakes. Coming into here again, making sure you kiss the first point of this curb, not the sausage portion. We did that very nicely. Aim towards this pole. Before it goes out of view, that's when we want to be turning in again. Could have been a bit tighter to that left-hand curb. Go underneath here. As it revs out, that's when I then turn in. A bit tighter again, a little bit wide for there, up shifting into fourth. But overall, not too bad. And as you hit the 50-meter board, that's where you want to do the slight dab on the brake and turn in. You can either miss this or attack this. I attack this. I think it's not too bad. It doesn't really unsettle the car too much. And then coming to here, as the curb starts, that's when I want to be turning in. Kiss the inside. Make sure you go frontal nice and early. And stay tight to the line. And it's a 32.5. And as I said, it didn't really take me too long to get up to speed here, which I was pretty surprised at, because Abu Dhabi is normally quite a weak track of mine. So that was enough for P3. The number one time is using some assist there, which I do think helps out on this game. But overall, I was very happy. I'm going to come back to these tracks at a later point to try and claim the outright world record and put on the setup that I feel is going to be as fast as possible over a lap. But as always, I try and do these setups with an emphasis to be used online, particularly in league racing. And we're using 8.9, which the leader, the world record holder, is using as well. This setup is an evolution of my France setup. It's very similar, and you can see going through the geometry, a lot of rotation for that rear camber, the front toe for the high speed grip, 1.8 suspension, so that's actually a lot more than I usually use. The track's quite a low grip track, so you need that rotation, 3.9 roll bars and 3.8 wings, just to make it a bit smoother experience, and that better traction counteract the suspension rotation. And you can see the brakes are usual, the same, and the tire pressures, those are the ones I pretty much use around every track. So I really hope you found that useful. I won't be doing China tomorrow. I do a setup every other day now, so that will be coming on Wednesday. I'm really looking forward to China because it's a track I actually enjoy quite a lot, so hopefully we will end it with a bang. But I will be doing the other tracks once they are added in. But thank you so much for the support on the channel. League racing video is coming later today at 5 PM UK time, so stay tuned for that, and I will catch you very soon. Peace.